When you got up this morning, did you brush your teeth? Did you maybe use some water to wash some dishes for breakfast? Or maybe you had a glass of water? Or maybe you took a shower? For sure, after you used the restroom, you definitely flushed away your waste and probably washed your hands. And all these things that we do with water that we take for granted, the fact that we can just pull a lever and fresh water comes out, or we dispose our waste and water just washes it away, and we don't have to think about it contaminating our food and our water and causing all kinds of disease. This is an absolute blessing from God. It's something that the majority of the world still can't experience comfortably. Many places in the world they have to walk to go and fetch water, and you can guarantee that the water probably isn't very clean, probably has all forms of bacteria and viruses that causes them to get sick and their kids sick. It's estimated that women and children collectively spend 140 million hours each day just collecting water. 140 million hours each day. I mean, that is insane. That's something that, we don't even have to think about. We pull a lever, we turn on a faucet, we turn on the hose, and we have fresh water coming out. We don't have to go and travel miles and miles and spend hours and hours of our day to go and fetch these heavy loads. In South Africa, it's estimated that the distance that women walk collectively in a single, let's see, in a single day is 16 times to the moon and back. Just the women alone, just to collect water. And it's 250,000 miles roughly to the moon. And they're doing this round trip collectively 16 times. That's a whole lot of walking just to get water. In India, it's estimated that 150 million work days per year are lost in productivity because women have to go and fetch water. And it's ironic that this is the task that's predominantly given to women to go and fetch water. But 150 million work days a year is lost because they have to go and fetch water. And you think about how much of a luxury it is that this is something you don't even have to think about. You can come home after the gym, before going to bed. When you get up in the morning, have this, refreshing shower. You can go and open up the tap and get a refreshing cup of water. You can wash your plates, your dishes, and think about the waste that you're able to just get rid of. So much of the water that people have access to, it's full of disease and it causes diarrhea. It's estimated that every day 2,000 people die because of diarrhea, because of inadequate drinking water, and not being able to use it for sanitation, washing their hands. And what a blessing if you have access to fresh drinking water. And again, the purpose of these mini podcasts is just to be appreciative, to reflect. So the next time you turn on the tap, you turn on the faucet, you take a shower, you water the plants, whatever, that you can think about how much of a luxury, how much of a blessing it is that God has provided this for you. And God is the one who provides us with fresh water. The water comes from the evaporation process that takes salty water, converts it, purifies it, brings it back to us, and by God's leave, we have the infrastructure, the technology to distribute that water to every person. And how much of a blessing it is that you can be the poorest individual in a developed country and still have so many more luxuries than the majority of people in the world. And it's something that we should never take for granted. And just on one final note, just give you a sense of how much of a blessing it is. In 1832, London, they had a cholera outbreak, and it killed over 6,536 people. And the root cause of that was because of the contamination of people's waste with the water supply. And the fact that now when you flush your waste down the toilet, that it's being handled separately from where the water is, that it's not going to contaminate the two. It's such a blessing, and it's something that, again, we typically don't like to discuss or talk about, but it's something that leaves us so much better off, eliminates bacteria and disease, allows us to live healthy lives for both us and our children. And anyone with kids can know just how much of a detriment it is to have your kids get sick, to have them get diarrhea or flu or, vomiting, and to think that, by God's leave, we don't have to experience that for the most part. And just to end on some verses, 757, he's the one who sends the wind with good omen, as mercy from his hands. Once they gather heavy clouds, we drive them to dead lands and send down water therefrom, to produce with it all kinds of fruits. We thus resurrect the dead, that you may take heed. 16:10, He sends down from the sky water for your drink and to grow trees for your benefit. 23:18, We send down from the sky water in exact measure, then we store it in the ground. Certainly we can let it escape. 67:30, Say, what if your water sinks away? Who will provide you with pure water? 56:68 through 70, Have you noted the water you drink? Did you send it down from the clouds, or did we? If we will, we can make it salty. You should be thankful. God willing, going to end there. If you guys got any comments or questions, hit us up at QuranTalk@gmail.com or on Twitter at TalkQuran. And listen to some of our other podcasts. If you want a full podcast list, go to podbean.QuranTalk.com. And until next time, peace and God bless.